Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee in a Rise and Shine coffee mug. Perfect. Colombian today.
Nice.
Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. And of course, the Daybreak Rooster. Do anything you want to do. Anything you want to do. You want to be an actor? Do it. You know, life is short. You want to be a model? Do it. You want to be a blogger? Do it. You want to be a paperback writer? Do it. Internet marketer, farmer, mechanic, speaker? Pay the price. There's a price for everything. There's a ticket price for everything. Pay the price and do it. Be around the people that are going to make the decisions, or make the decision yourself and do it. Stay there if you want, or move on and do the next thing. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken. Be able to pivot at a second's notice. You want to do it? Do it. Do it. No excuses. Or you could be stuck. 2021 was the year that you were supposed to get unstuck. Will 2022 be the year you get unstuck? It's going to be here in the blink of an eye. That's up to you. In 1975, they were an Ohio rock band. They were in Pittsburgh at the 2001 Club. Their fans wanted them to play more dance music, as most people in clubs want. As they were starting their second set, the drummer said to Rob Parisi, who was the lead guitarist and singer, he said, "Hey, play some funky music, white boy," jokingly. Rob stopped and he wrote that phrase down on a bar order pad. The band Wild Cherry was on their way back to Cleveland. Rob was listening to the Ohio Players song Fire. Think about this now. The Ohio Players song Fire. Think about that beat. Then at that point, they conceived the beat, the rhythm, and the tongue-in-cheek lyrics of the song, Play That Funky Music. One of the biggest selling singles and most played dance songs of all time. You already know the song, Play That Funky Music. Now, listen to Ohio Players' Fire, which was one of my favorite groups. Believe it or not, I had every Ohio Player album in the 70s. Interesting. Imagine yourself living as a house. You thought you were going to be a decent little cottage, but he was building a palace. That's from C.S. Lewis. Another reason why I just love his writing. Nothing like the sound of a horn section in a band. It's definitely a thing, right? The song Vehicle by the Ides of March, what was that, 70 or 71? Possibly the best song Chicago never wrote. Some of you will understand that. Ecclesiastes 4. Here's a scripture for the day. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls down and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. How can one keep warm alone? This is great because when people are widowed, then, like, single people might laugh at this, like single, like, red pill people. Listen, I'm a red pill guy. I'm awakened. I got the lens on, all right? But I know this is true. And I know it's an eternal truth. But you know who really knows that? People who are widowed and lost somebody. They know. Because they lost part of themselves when that person passed away. How do I know that? Because I've worked with so many widowed people over the past 35 years. That's the only conclusion that I can come to, is that they lost part of themselves. And it's hard. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do if you lose a mate. Sometimes you want to get higher, and sometimes you got to start low. Ted Nugent from the song Stranglehold in 1975. Musically, probably one of my favorite rock and roll songs. Just great, great, great party song. In 2016, I said, you deport criminal illegals, create a pathway for those who are working and contributing. You prosecute officials who refuse to enforce the law. As many say, we don't need any more laws, we just need to enforce the ones we already have on the books. Let me ask you this question. Did we do that from 2016 to 2020 as we look back now? Did we deport people? Or did we create pathways for them? Or do we just kind of let people go and flourish and take and not make? America at one time was a country of makers, not takers. Creators, not consumers. I know some of you younger ones are thinking, really? Lord, forgive me for making telemarketers want to quit their jobs. I think when they went from calling landlines to calling cell phones, that's when I kind of changed my mind. I'm at the point where if I don't recognize a number, I don't answer it, right? I probably block 2 phone numbers a day, or listen to a message that they left, which is basically a robocall, and then I block the number. What do you do? Well, I was suspended from Facebook for saying the words Kyle Rittenhouse. Suspended for 7 days. You can't even say the word. Here's, well, of course, they already found him guilty. If you want to mention the groups that burn and loot cities, no problem, go right ahead. Oh gosh. It went like this: you're suspended for your comment for 7 days. This is because you previously posted something that didn't follow our community standards. You won't be able to go live or advertise for 30 days. Like, they don't even want my money. This goes against our standards on dangerous individuals and organizations. Only you can see it. Interesting, right? Facebook, can you hear this? You can't hear. Let me turn it up for you. If I wasn't making money with Facebook, I would have ditched their communist asses a long time ago. I fucking hate. I have a love-hate relationship. I like the money that comes from them, but I hate what they do. But I did gain decent followers from there as well, and it supports. Facebook is part of the funnel that brings people here and to my newsletter, which is important. So I think the Orthodox Church might be the only church that has Mary Did You Know proofed itself. You know, this is that time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year, right? Fruitcakes, the sound of jingle bells in like every TV commercial, and every church, there's always someone singing Mary Did You Know, some version of it. Oh, by the way, the best version of it ever is Michael English. Trust me on that one. Oh, by the way, if you do get a fruitcake, don't throw it out, because I know it seems like they last forever, right? You could have a fruitcake that's 10 years old, open it up, and it's still, like, fresh. If you get a fruitcake, this is what I want you to do. I want you to put it in a loaf pan, like you would make a meatloaf in, and pour rum in it, and just let it soak it up for a day until all the rum is soaked in. Take it out, and have that with your tea or favorite hot beverage in the evening, and it is magnificent. It transforms the fruitcake. Or if you're a whiskey fan, whiskey cakes are magnificent if you've never had one. But here's the problem. Regular cake, like, you can't just get regular cake and pour alcohol in it. You have to have those super dense cakes. Otherwise, a regular cake will just fall apart. But the fruit cakes and the hardcore pound cakes are perfect to do that with. So we're on what now? The third injection, the booster shot they call it. It's a booster. Yeah. I'm sure everyone at your favorite businesses supports all this and thinks that you should too. Have you even checked your favorite businesses and what they think about this? Remember, you vote with your dollar, but you got to remember, they don't care about your money anymore, so it's not about that. Well, I'm not going to shop there anymore. They don't care about that. Half the world doesn't care if businesses close down. Your business or their business. They don't care. There's a pseudo truth going around, also known as falsehood. You know, because of science. First they were no Trumpers, and they conveniently transitioned to stay at home saves lives. Now, get the shot. What a bunch of fucking weirdos. What dividing strategy is next? Carbon footprint? That's on its way too. They fucked our military, they fucked our doctors, they fucked our educators, schools, colleges. What is next? I love this. And my attitude about that came from this. The third dose increases immunity, so after the fourth dose, you are protected. Once 80% of the population has received the fifth dose, the restrictions can be relaxed, as the sixth dose stops the virus from spreading. I am calm and believe that the seventh dose will solve our problems, and we have no reason to fear the eighth dose. The clinical phase of the ninth dose confirms that the antibodies remain stable after the 10th dose. The 11th dose guarantees no new mutations will develop, so there is no longer any reason to criticize the idea of a 12th dose. You've already heard them talk about regular vaccines. You ever notice in the past 2 years, what quicker way to divide people, what quicker way to reset governments, to reset a financial system? Don't kid yourself. This has nothing to fucking do with a virus. If you think it has something to do with a virus, you just might be one of the sheep. So are they setting a narrative that animals get COVID? I've been hearing that for the past few days. They want to slaughter animals and create a meat shortage. Guess what you're going to have to eat when there's no meat left? Bugs and soy. I love this, and if this offends you, well, I think it's funny, no matter who you are. If you don't think it's funny, then maybe you have no sense of humor. Christmas is that magical time of the year when Protestants don't have a problem with statues of Jesus, Mary, saints, and angels. Come on, man. That's hilarious. New evidence shows that SARS-CoV spreads explosively in American white-tailed deer, suggesting the animals could carry the virus indefinitely and spread it back to humans. Yeah, that's not generated by PETA and the soy-loving crowd, is it? Regular visits to your hometown can remind you of why you left it. Are you still in your hometown? No condemnation, no judgment, but are you still in your hometown? I can't go back to my hometown. I can go back, but every time I go back there, it literally does remind me of why I left it. There's a little bit of sentimentalism there, nostalgia, but sentimentalism is a trap. I did a video on that probably, 2 years ago? Sentimentalism is a trap. Charles Dickens in the book David Copperfield says, "The most important thing in life is to stop saying I wish and start saying I will. Consider nothing impossible, then treat possibilities as probabilities." That's a great quote, right? Don't forget, the key to effective communication is sincerity. And once you learn how to fake that, you've got it made. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.
Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other. So far as the echo, where do we start? You can learn to discover a million stars. Here in the shadows, I know you're scared. Take my hand, together we'll make a stand. We've got to fight to find a way. Dare to fall to find out what to say. No more hate. Just admit that you're just afraid. Time to let go of all your fears and pride. Stand up beside me, don't you hide. We can build a better place. If we can just find a way, then we can live a better day. Rise from the ashes, from the anger, from the war. Let's come together, lift your spirit for the cause. We should be equal, should be living free. All together, one and all, let's build a dream. No more hate. Just admit that you're just afraid.